Hello, welcome back. This is Ras Masood, and today we are going to work on another aspect of enterprise class application. Again, a basic one, but everything actually is going to be started from this thing, and that is setting up a single page application, a bare bones of a single page application in Angular 4 and TypeScript. And this is going to be a very basic application, and you will see how easy it is to set up such kind of an application. So we'll begin with something called Angular CLI. So Angular CLI actually helps us generating a boilerplate code for different areas of an Angular application. So, and before that, before we even begin everything, you must have npm installed in your machine. So if you don't have an npm installed in your machine, you simply go to maybe just Google, download npm, and it will give you the installer. Since it's my machine is already installed, and you can simply go here, get npm, and you will have an installer. You can download an installer, and it will install npm in your machine, and it will also set environment variables for you automatically. And then you can check a version of your node by this, and before that it will install node.js, and then you can also check version of your npm like this. What is node and other things, I mean, it's beyond the topic of discussion here. So anyways, if you have npm installed, then this is the command npm install -g, which means you are installing something globally, and then you can install Angular CLI. In my machine, Angular CLI is already installed. Now when you have Angular CLI installed, it can help you with different commands. ng new, and then the name of your application will generate a new blank bare bones of a Angular 4 application. ng generate will help you different things inside an Angular application. Like if you want to generate a component, you won't be writing all the boilerplate code from start. ng generate will do it for you. And ng serve will actually serve your application locally, and then you will be able to view your application as an hosted application locally. So let me show you how it works. So in my locally, I have this folder, application aspects, and in the client side aspect, the first aspect is to actually create a basic Angular application. So this is basic. Let's call it basic. Okay. And in this basic application, what we're going to do here is that we will open a command prompt here, and because CLI is already installed, I will do ng new, and let's call it my app. And by just doing this, it will take its time, and then if you can see here, it's going to create the folder structure and all the files required to run a basic Angular 4 application. It's installing packages via npm. It's taking its time. So it is finished installing, and then you can see we have this folder structure. So now I'm going to open this folder in my dev environment, and we are going to use Visual Studio Code as our dev environment. So I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, and I'll copy this path, and I'll say open folder, and then I can simply open my basic folder and that my app folder, and I can select this folder. So it will load all the files here, and then we'll go through these files and this folder structure, and we'll see what is the information that is contained in these files. So E2E. Now this folder is about end-to-end testing. When we come to the testing part of our series, we will discuss about that. These things are node modules. All the local node modules are installed here. Source contains the basic source of our source code of our application, and this thing has Angular CLI configuration, different aspects of an Angular CLI application. They can be controlled here. When we come to that, we will surely discuss that. Git ignore, I mean, you just put all the files you want to ignore by the version control. Karma is again for unit testing. E2E was for end-to-end testing. Karma is for unit testing. E2E was for integration testing. And then we use protector for E2E, and it has a protector configuration. We will discuss that. But the area, and then package.json is an important file where you list all the packages in application in your which you want in your application. And then in the source, you have the app folder, and app folder has the basic your basic components and everything in it. And then your common styling, you normally put, again, these are by convention, not the rule of an Angular application, but mostly by convention, is that you have a style.css file, and all your common styles that are common across the application are in style.css. Main.ts is kind of your bootstrap application, which tells the Angular system what to do when Angular application is kicked off. Each Angular application have its a basic module, and this is about that module. And then each Angular application has to have a component as well. So as you know, Angular 4 is all about modules and components. It must have a basic at least one module, and it must have at least one component. And this is the test file for that component, and this is the HTML part of this component, the template part of this component, and this is the CSS, which is actually just a CSS of one component. And let me go ahead and run this application. I'll open a command prompt here, and I will say ng-serve. What it will do is that it will host a web application from within this folder and give me a path, a URL, a local URL to hit, and then I can see what comes with this application. So ng-serve, it's going to take some time, and as you can see, it's telling me that this application is hosted on localhost on port 4200, and I will go to localhost 4200, and I can see this application running. Ta-da! So this is the application, just a basic application, just one h1 tag, one image, and then few of the links to different Angular resources. And if I show you where are these things are here. Basically, this is one module, and this module has this first component, which is called app component. This is the backend code for that app component. And in that app component, we are telling what is the template URL, which is app.component.html. And in app.component.html, you see welcome to, and then the title. Actually, the title is bounded to this thing, welcome to app. And you can see if I say welcome to my app and save it, and if I go here, I'll just simply reload it, and you can see welcome to my app. So two-way binding is working here, as you can see, and that's about it. That's what Angular's basic application gives you. And from here we are going to build upon it. And here you can see one more thing I would like to point here is this version control. All these new files were created here, and they are ready to they are ready to be checked in. It is just complaining that these are binary files and cannot be open. We don't need these files anyways. And I'm going to select all the files I'm going to select all the files and I will say state changes. And then I will say commit the state changes, and I would like to give my command that basic app first check-in, and these files are being committed locally first, and then later we are going to push it. So all the files are being committed locally, and then I'm going to push it to the server where we created our Git repository. Now everything is pushed to the server, and to verify that, we will simply go and we'll open Bitbucket. We will go to our repositories. We will open this client-side repository, and if we see the source files in this repository, we can see our recently pushed files there. So we'll hit source, and you can see I have this folder called my app, which was the same folder we had locally here, the my app folder, and I can see all the files, all the source files, everything here. And if you want to see that my app HTML thing, you can see we have a latest update here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We have seen how we created our basic Angular 4 application, and how we checked in our code, and we pushed our code to our online repository. That's pretty much it. Thank you.